Hi, I'm Mark. I'm one of the IELTS teachers here at GibalVillage Vancouver, and today I'd like to talk to you about how to handle part 2 of the IELTS speaking exam, which is also known as the long turn. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what is expected in this part of the test. So, in the IELTS speaking test in part 2, the examiner will give you, the candidate, a task card, and on the card it has a topic that you have to talk about for 2 minutes. For example, it might be something like talk about a gift that you gave someone, or talk about a holiday that you took that you remember, or talk about a special meal that you enjoyed with your family and friends. So you'll get a topic on a card, and he'll also give you a piece of paper and a pencil, and the examiner will say you've got 1 minute to think about the topic, and you can make some notes if you wish. You have 1 minute to think about it. You can write down anything you want on the paper. Then when the 1 minute is finished and you've prepared, the examiner will ask you to talk for the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. So this is a very difficult part of the test, but it's also the most important part of your test because this is the best demonstration to the examiner of what you can really do and what your real true speaking abilities are. So it's very important that you perform well on this part of the test. So I'd like to tell you a few things for you to make it easier. The main thing you have to remember is do not stop talking for 2 minutes. You must talk for the complete 2 minutes. The examiner does say you have from 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this, but what they really mean is 2 full minutes, please. So keep talking until the examiner tells you to stop talking. Another important thing to remember here is the examiner is not so much interested in the content of your talk and what you say, so much as how well you are able to keep going, how fluent you are, how good your grammar is. So don't worry too much about going off topic. That happens to everyone in everyday conversation. Native speakers go off topic all the time. Again, the important thing to remember is 2 full minutes of talking. Do not stop talking. A tip I often give my students to help them get through this part is to write down at least 3 things that you can talk about. It's very difficult to talk for 2 minutes about only 1 thing, but it's much easier if you have 3 things that you can talk about in case you run out of things to say during your 2 minutes. That often happens. So, for example, if you're given a task card that says talk about a gift that you gave someone, write down 3 gifts that you remember giving people. If it asks you to talk about a special holiday, write down 3 holidays that you remember. If it asks you to talk about a special meal that you shared with family and friends, write down 3 special meals. That will ensure that you can keep going for 2 minutes and you will not have the danger of running out of things to say. So always write down 3 things that you can say. As I mentioned, don't worry about going off topic. If that happens, just keep talking, it's fine. The examiner will tell you when your 2 minutes is up, and I also tell my students if you get interrupted in the middle of your talk, that's good. That's a good thing. It means you did a good job. Finally, when you're finished your long turn, the examiner very often will ask you a finishing up question, or sometimes called a rounding off question, to bring your talk to that part of the test to a natural conclusion. So when you answer that question, don't keep going for another 2 minutes. Just give them a very brief answer. Give the examiner a yes or no answer. Do not keep talking. That means part 2 is over and you did a great job. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to teaching you at GibalVillage Vancouver and showing you how to succeed on the IELTS exam.